So ladies and gentlemen, I give you Freddie Aguilar and his son Jericho.
We'd like to say good afternoon to everyone. And this is something very new to me. When I was asked by my friend Joe Peters to do this one, I was like, yeah, will I do this or not? So I was saying to myself, maybe I won't do this. Maybe I'd rather do a concert than tell you how I started. It's very hard for me because I'm used to singing and performing with the whole band and with a dark light, something like that. But now I see everybody. Well, anyway, for those of you who are not very familiar with me, I'm Freddie Aguilar, and I was born, thank you. And I was born in Isabela in 1953, and I was the eldest of the 5 children. My father was the late Gregorio Aguilar, who happens to be the chief of police of our town when I was born and when I was growing. And my grandfather, Pedro, was the vice mayor of our town. So I grew up always entertaining people from our house because we have many visitors every day. My father and my grandfather and my mother are always proud when we have visitors that, Freddie, will you sing something for them? And you don't have to ask me twice. I jump right away and sing. And my favorite song during that time was the songs from Manong Fred Panopio, who was the most popular singer at that time. And I used to sing Tatlong Baraha and Pitong Gatang, and these are the songs popularized by Mang Fred Panopio at that time and made into movies by our king of Filipino action movie, none other than Fernando Po Jr. I don't know if you know him, but you can Google him and check him out one time. So I don't know what Joe Peters did to me that I said, okay, bro, I'll do it. And it was through another friend, Lester Demetilio, who is also a very good guitarist himself, one of the best classical guitar player that the Filipinos ever produced. So I said, okay, so when do we do this? And they said, blah, blah, blah. So now here I am. But I am not an instant musician. I did not study music. My father wanted me to become a lawyer instead because, as I said, my grandfather was the vice mayor and my father was the chief of police. So they wanted me to continue the political life that they started. So I said when I was at the age of 6, I was still thinking that maybe I would become like my father. I would love to wear that uniform. He looks very good in his uniform as a chief of police. And at that time, chief of police and politicians are not so corrupted as of today. So it's not bad. So I said, okay, I would love to be like my father, like my grandpa. But when we moved to Manila, because my father got very, very sick, and but before he got very sick, something happened. They heard, I think, that my father will be the next mayor of the town. So they put my father into a very bad situation. Like they sued him of something like negligence of duty. And during the time of my father, in the early 50s or up to the late 50s, the dignity of Philippine politics are so high that my father did not even clear his name. He said, I am resigning my duty as a chief of police of this town because you already accused me of doing something that I did not do. So I will not clear my name. I know that I know that my name is clear, but since I'm already dragged into something bad, he said, I will quit because I'm not worthy anymore of this position as a chief of police since you already accused me of negligence of duty. That's how high the delicadeza or honor of our politicians in that time that my father never went back into politics anymore after that. And then the accident happened. He became very, very sick, and it was only in Manila that my father will will be cured. So from Cagayan Hospital in our town in the north, they have to bring my father through, I think, a borrowed helicopter at that time in Manila because his life is in danger. And luckily, he survived. But he survived, but we lost everything. He lost everything that he earned, everything, the farm, the house, his favorite horse, his favorite car, a jeep, because at that time he was driving a jeep. And from a very, very big house in Isabela, we moved to a very, very small house in Cayetano Arellano in Santa Mesa. And that's the first time that I thought my father don't love me anymore. See, because nobody explained to me what happened. When you are young and nobody explained to you what happened, you just think of what you think is what's happening, and you believe that that's it. My father don't love me anymore because he moved me from a very big house to a very small house. And we don't celebrate birthdays anymore. So I thought my father don't love me. So I grew up that way. So I went to school. One day, I was so happy. I saw a guitar in our wall. And I went to grab the guitar, and my father said, no, that's not for you. That's for your sister. Because your sister needs it in school. And I felt like, oh, I thought it's my guitar. And don't touch that guitar. You're not allowed to touch the guitar. You're only allowed to touch your book and read your book and read your book and book and book and book. Always book. So I said, okay. And then let's go to, let's fast forward. My sister was able to use it in her school, and after the project in school, the guitar just lay there in the wall. Nobody's using it. So what I do, every time my father is away, I get the guitar and taught myself to play it. No teacher, nothing. I learned to play it on my own with a little help of a songbook. Yeah, if you know a songbook, the songbook has songs in it with guitar chords. So I taught myself how to read the guitar chords without even knowing how to do it, but I just followed the instruction. And the next thing you know, I was playing House of the Rising Sun. That was the first song that I've ever learned in playing the guitar, House of the Rising Sun. Who will forget that song? Everybody knows the song. Even up to now, everybody still knows the song, I think, at least. But if you are an old person like me, which I'm already 35, I'm very bad in mathematics, by the way. So you don't know if you are lower than 35 like me, okay? But it's a very popular song. So I learned it, but every time my father is at home, he had to see me reading the book. I have a book. I'm reading a book. The book is just very big like that. I'm reading it. But inside, it's a songbook. There's a small songbook inside, and I am memorizing songs without my father knowing it. And he thought that I'm reading the book also with my sister, Zoraida, and my sister, Marlene, and my brother, Tony Boy, and my youngest sister, Marites. Nonetheless, I learned without following my father, and we always argue. We always fight. Because I thought, he don't love me. I grew up thinking that he don't love me. So we always fight. One time, I was being asked by a group of friends to go to a party. 3 beautiful girls came to the house. Imagine 3 girls coming to a man's house, asking him to go to a party. Imagine that, 3 girls coming to our house. And my father would say, no, you cannot take my son with you in the party. So I will tell to my father in our dialect, in our own dialect, I will tell my father in our dialect, which is Ilocano, so that the 3 girls will not understand what we are talking about. I will tell him in Ilocano, I will go with them whether you like it or not. And my father will tell me in Ilocano, okay, go with them, but you're going to get it later. So okay, I said, okay, I'll get it. I said, I'll get it later. You always do that to me anyway, so I'm going to get it later, but I will go with them. So I go with them, and then I have no money, nothing. And then I was thinking, oh, wow, how can I bring these girls to a party? I don't even have a single centavo. And my mother, who's on the 2nd floor, will call me like, Freddie. And then I look up, and then I said, and then he throw me something, and it's 10 pesos. my mother threw me a 10 pesos because she knew I had nothing. So she threw me a 10 pesos and go to the party, and I enjoy the party. But afterwards, I come home and my father's there with a belt. Of course, the belt is not for me. It's not for my waist. It's for my behind. Yes. So I get it. So I grew up like that. So we are fighting. So my father told me, "You look like a monkey with your long hair." So I keep growing it longer and longer and longer. So one day I could not tolerate the rules of my father anymore at home. So at the age of 17, after I learned so many songs that I thought I can already make a singing career in any pub house or in any music lounge, I left home. I left home. Without my father knowing it. I left home. Only my mother knew that I'm leaving home, and I'm not going back until my father allows me to sing. So I left home. I was offered a singing stint at Con Almas in Santa Cruz, Manila. It's called Con Almas Music Lounge. And it was owned by a family friend, a friend of mine that I grew up with in Santa Mesa. And he said, "Freddie, you want to sing? We're opening a music lounge and we need a singer because we need you there, man. You have a good voice. And my mother heard you before and he liked the way you sing, and my mother wants to hire you." And I said, "Yes, okay." So I left home. I went, started playing at Con Almas in Santa Cruz, Manila. The problem in Con Almas is that they have no microphone. Yeah. So I said, "So where do I sing?" "There." I said, "So where's the microphone?" "No microphone, just sing." I said, "Wow, what shit." So I said, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, you sing. You have a very good voice. You don't need a microphone." I said, "But I sing with a microphone." So, no, just a small lounge. Sing. Don't worry. The people listening to you here are only exclusive members of Con Almas Music Lounge. I said, "Okay." So the first night I sang with no microphone. I was so nervous. And the first song that I sing was "Sunshine." I don't know if you should know that song. "Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy," something like that. A John Denver song. And people love it. And a guy said, "Hey, come here," he said. So I approached the table and he said, "Will you sing right beside me?" I said, "Okay." So I sang another song, and the whole night I'm singing without any microphone, and I enjoyed it. I was making 20 pesos a night, but my tip was 150 pesos. So I thought, "Yeah, I'm going to get rich right away." I was thinking, "Yeah, this is a good job." Free meal and free lodging. Imagine that. So I was there for a while, and then I decided that I have to learn more. So I don't know if it's several months, I asked Mama Consuelo. Mama Consuelo is like a mother to me because it's family friend. So it's like my godmother. So I said, "Mama, I am being asked to do an extra show in Cola House in the tourist belt in Malate, Manila." And I said, "Will you let me sing there?" And he said, "Why not? You've been wanting to sing at the tourist belt, but you always don't get the nod of the audition masters because I don't make it to any audition. Every time I auditioned in another bar besides Con Almas, they said, "No, Freddie, you have to learn more. You don't know how to play. You don't know how to sing." So I feel so bad because, for example, we are 7 who auditioned. And all the 6 other folk singers will be hired, and I will be told to, "You don't know how to sing. You don't know how to play. You have to learn how to play. You have to learn how to sing." So I never get it. But I continue playing at Con Almas. And one day, my friend Von Velosa told me, "Hey, Freddie, someone is sick at Call House, and I recommended your name to be a replacement." And I said, "Do you think I can handle the crowd?" Because I auditioned there twice already, and I was turned down by the audition master. And Vaughn said, "You're good, man. You just need to you just need a break." He said, "But I'm pretty sure if you sing with the crowd," he said, "I think the crowd will love you." And so I went there on a Tuesday night because someone who's playing on a Tuesday night got sick, so I was the replacement singer. And luckily, Von Veloso was right. The crowd loved me very much. They keep applauding in every song that I sing, and I felt like I was so good. So that's it. So it's bad. But then I feel bad also because I'm just the replacement singer. But luckily, the owner of the bar was there that night, and he was asking the audition master, I will never forget his name, Henry. He said, "Henry, who's that guy singing upstairs?" And Henry said, "Oh, don't worry about him. He's just a replacement singer. He always auditioned here, and he never passed the audition." So the owner told him, "But can you not hear the crowd? The crowd loved him because the crowd were applauding." And the owner said, "I want him to play here at least once a week." So since the owner told him to hire me, he had no choice but to hire me. So he put me on a Tuesday night. That's why I created an enemy right away. Because the guy who's sick was never allowed to go back, so he was my enemy. Without me knowing it, I created an enemy. And later, but that's another story. So I sing and sing and sing and sing there, and I love singing it. From 20 pesos, I am now making 25 pesos. So a jump of 5 pesos. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's good, it's good. So I was making 25 pesos. And then I was singing, and a little girl approached me and said, "Hey, Freddie, do you know that girl who just left?" I said, "No." "Oh, he's the son of the president. Oh, he's the daughter of the president." "Really?" I said, "Wow, the daughter of the president is watching my show in Cola House." And then I found out later that she is Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who became later our president also, but that's another story too. I don't want to talk about that, see? So after singing so many nights or so many months in Cola House, I was hired at the Hobbit House, another great folk house in Malate, run by the Hobbits, small people. And I lasted there for so long. And after Hobbit House, I was hired at Bodega Theater. So I was doing very well. And from 25 now, I'm making 40 pesos. See? So 40 pesos. And all of a sudden, even Cola House is already paying me also 40 pesos. So I was playing everywhere in Malate until I noticed that I'm not learning anything anymore. I need the challenge. I thought that I was already one of the best singer in the university belt. So I was thinking that I need a better challenge. I need to learn more. I want to learn more. So I was asking friends, I said, "Hey, where do I learn to play more? Better, bigger?" And nobody tells me, "But you're already in university, in tourist belt. What more do you want? This is it." I said, no, I know, no. I said, "No, it's not. This is not the place. I need to learn more." And then someone told me, "Freddie, you have to go to Olongapo City." They said, "You have to go to Magsaysay in Olongapo City. There are great musicians there that you will follow and you will like and you will learn how they do it." So I went there. We took Victory Liner, the biggest bus company. Even up to now, we're still one of the biggest bus company. I had 20 pesos in my pocket with my 2 Levi's jeans and 2 T-shirts and 2 jackets and my guitar, of course. So we went there, 20 pesos. We took an air-conditioned bus. Believe it or not, during the time in the 70s, air-conditioned bus in my country is only 5 pesos. Now I think it's 500 pesos. So many years has passed, now 500, but before 5 pesos. We get to Olongapo. It was 5 or 6 p.m. The sun is going down. And we got off at the beginning of Magsaysay Drive. And all the lights are starting to open. The neon lights are starting to glitter. And I had goose pimples all over my body, even now. And I said to myself, "This is the place for me. It looks like I reached heaven." Yeah, this is heaven. Left and right, it's all nightclubs. It's all pub houses. Second floor, nightclubs, pub houses, third floor. Everywhere, in the whole street, is restaurants, bars, pub houses, rock houses, folk houses, country houses. I said, "This is the place for me." And I said, Peter, thank you for bringing me here because I don't know how to get there without Peter. So we started walking and we see wanted singer and we approached and they said, no, 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 we're not looking for a male singer. We're looking for a female singer. So we go to the next door. No, 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 no. They're all looking for a female singer, not a male singer like me. So wow. We passed the fire station. So I said, Peter, I think we are sleeping in the fire station tonight. Because we had no money. We only got 8 pesos left because we bought 2 pesos cigarettes. Because at that time I'm still smoking. So 8 pesos, we cannot go back to Manila anymore. So I said, we're going to sleep in the firehouse. So we walk and walk and walk until I decided to call God. I said, please God, help me. So I went up. I went up like that. And I saw a big name. It says, Carol Folk Singer, performing every night. So Peter and I started looking at each other and I said, is she the Carol that I taught how to play the guitar and sing? And Peter said, no way. What is she doing here? I thought she said she's in Japan. And I said, but maybe the contract is finished. She's back here. Oh, no way, no way. Okay, no, come on, man, we'll try it. Well, let's go up to the 3rd floor. He was playing in the 3rd floor. The club is called E Club. She was playing there, so we went out. It's too early. No one is singing yet. Nobody's singing yet. So we walk in, and the guard said, no, Filipinos are not allowed to enter here. These are only for Americans and people with money. I said, but we have money. That time, the beer was only 1 peso anyway. So we still have 8 pesos. We still have 8 pesos. So I said, oh, we have money, we will order. And are you ordering? He says, yes, we will order. Okay, I will follow you. So he let us in, we walk in, we ordered 1 beer and 2 glasses. So the waiter looked us like strangely, the waiter was looking like this. So he gave us anyway, 1 beer and 2 glasses. So we pour it, half, but we're not drinking it. It's just there. So now the DJ said, now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Carol, first from Japan. So I said, that's her. And there's so many already American servicemen inside the club. And so Carol was singing. And I said, oh, it's not her. She looks so different. And she's so good. The Carol I know cannot carry a tune that well. And now she's so good and she's so beautiful and she's so sexy. The Carol I know is nothing. So I said, oh, it's not her. But I think we'll try anyway. So we wrote in a napkin, hi, Carol. Your friend Freddie Aguilar is here in the audience, if you still remember. So I would put it. And the waiter put it there, but another waiter put another request. And then so I said, so we have to wait. And still we're not drinking the beer. So the waiter keeps looking at us, strangely like, come on, drink it. But we're not drinking it. So at last he gets into the paper and he read it and he had a shining face like, oh, I'll tell you what, I have my friend here who taught me how to play the guitar and I will call him to jam with us tonight. And I was saying, no. I was saying, no. But she called me, and I went up there and sang. So what I sing, I still remember, was father and son. It's not time to make a change. Just sit down, take it slowly. You're still young. That's your fault. There is so much you have to go through. And the people in the club, they love it so much. They gave me a astounding applause, and I left the stage. And went back to our table and hugged Carol. After that, she continued her set. And all of a sudden, the waiter said, hey, my boss wants to talk to you inside. And I said, oh, shit, we are in trouble. So we walk inside. I was shaking. And they were all there in the office. And he said, are you from here? The owner said, I'm the owner. My name is Bunso. I am the owner, he said. Are you from here? And I said, no, sir. So why are you guys here? Oh, I want to find a place to sing here, sir. And he said, okay, you come back next month. I'll give you a show because I'm opening a folk house next month. And you are fit to the folk house because I heard you're good. He said, I want you next month. But sir, I said, I don't think we can come back next month because I already quit my job in Manila. I have no more money to... Don't worry about it. He said, okay, I'll tell you what, don't worry about it. He said to his henchman, give them a free hotel, give them free food. And he gave me something in my hand, and when I look, it's 50 pesos. At that time, it's so much, you know. And he said, go bar hopping. And I said, don't worry about it. Sleep in the hotel. Go home when you want to go home, but I want you next month. He said, and Peter and I were so happy. So we went bar hopping. And wow, all the bands are so good. They're so good. And I wanted like, wow, how do I learn to play like them? How can I play like these people? They're very, very good. And the next day, we woke up so early because we were so excited. After bar hopping, we wake up so early. We were in Magsaysay. We were buying cigarette again because I'm still smoking. At that time, we were smoking. And we were talking. And all of a sudden, 11 in the morning, the whole Magsaysay street, which is full of people. Bands, girls, waitress, everything. Waiters. Everyone is there. And the next thing you know, here comes the Americans. There is a ship, a big, big ship. And everybody is up early. The restaurants, the clubs, the hotels are ready very early because there is a big, big ship just came in. And now everybody's playing. Lunchtime, there's already band playing. And everybody was so happy except the manager of Bunso, Senen. Because one of the band who's playing at Acme Club left and go to Manila without telling the manager that they're going to Manila. So they cannot find any more band to play because when there is a ship, even the shittiest band and shittiest singer is hired. So they don't get anyone else. And one waiter said, him. And they pointed at me. I said, no. Not me. I'm not going to alternate with a soul band. Imagine a folk singer like me alternating a soul band. It's not happening, and it will not happen at that time. So I said, no. I said, I cannot alternate with a soul band. I can alternate, I said, with a country band, but not with a soul band or a rock band. I said, I can do that, but not with a soul band. Because folk singing was hated by the black people. Yeah. I said, if you don't know, folk singing is hated by the black people, and soul band is for black, and Acme Club is for black people. I said, I cannot sing there. They will kill me. I said, no, Freddie, this is Olongapo. Everything here is free. Don't worry. You're good. And I said, no, I still don't want to play. Until the owner said, come on, Freddie, play. I thought you want to find a place to play here. This is your chance now, play. I said, okay, I will play. And I heard the countdowns. That's the name of the band. Countdown, the name of the soul band. And they're so good. They're so great. And I feel like I'm getting smaller and smaller and smaller like that. I said, oh, how can I play with this group? How can I play after them? They're so good. So, but I have to. I went up there, so shy. I opened up with what song again? It's not time, make a change. Just sit down, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. In the middle of the song, they started throwing coins. And one of the coins hit my guitar, and I stopped. I went up and stopped, left the stage. And the manager, Sanon, was running after me, and he said, why did you leave the stage? I said, sir, they threw me coins. So what? I said, in Manila, if someone threw you coins, hey, this is the coin, take a taxi, go home. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. In Manila, they throw you coin while you're singing. That's the meaning. This is your taxi fare, go home. We don't like you here. And he said, no, Freddie, this is not Manila. This is Olongapo. In Olongapo, if they throw money while you're playing, they love you, man. That's why they throw money. And I thought he was just bullshitting me. I said, oh, no. So I went back. And it's like you pause. And when I go back, let's say I finished from that lyrics, so I came back with the next lyrics. And they loved me. The whole night I was playing, they loved me. And I was hired. And I created more enemies. Remember the first one in Cola House? Now, this is a band. There were 7 members of a band. So now I have 8 enemies. But I was hired, and that's how I started as a musician. And that's when I went away from my family too. I was very lonely. I was away from my family because now I'm in Olongapo. I cannot see my mother every time I want to because I have to drive back to Manila, and it's so expensive. So I became homesick. So I was lonely that before I go home, I go out with Arlen, another folk singer, and we go to beer houses where there are go-go dancers, sexy go-go dancers, and we get drunk, and when I'm drunk, I go home so I can sleep right away, so I don't feel the homesickness. Until one day, I woke up one afternoon, and I was looking at my very small room. I think my room is a little bigger than this and that, everything. It's like a rectangular small room. And I was looking at the corner and I see all the laundries. And then I was thinking that every time I need breakfast, I have to cook it myself. And I need lunch, I have to cook it myself, or I have to buy food outside. And I was thinking that at home, I never cook my breakfast. At home, I never cook my lunch, and at home I never do my laundry, but now I'm doing everything. So I was so homesick that I decided to turn on the television, and I had a black and white television, very small one, but I don't like the showing on the TV, so I turned it off. I turned on my cassette player, a mono cassette player with radio, and I don't like the songs on the radio, so I decided to put the blank cassette and try to write a song. But I could not write a song because I keep missing my family. I was thinking mostly my mother and my youngest sister. So I was being homesick and trying to realize, how did I get here? How did I become this big? What did I do? How come I'm away with the people that I love? Then I realized that I was stubborn. I never followed my father. When my father said red, I go with black. When my father said yes, I would say no. So we fight. He wanted me to become a lawyer. I became a musician. He wanted me to go to church. I don't go to church. I always questioned the church ever since I was young. I keep telling my father, how come we have so many gods? And it says in commandment number 1, I am your only God. There should be no other. So I keep questioning that. So we fight through religion. We fight everything. We fight. Even fight what he sent me to the market. Freddie, buy this and buy that. I buy all the bad fish in the market, bad meat in the market, and bad vegetable. And then, why did you buy this? Don't send me to the market because I am not a market boy. So we fight again. So I realized that I miss them. Even if I have misunderstanding with my father, I love him very much. I love my mother so much. My sisters, my brother, my one brother. So why am I am I here in Olongapo, so far away from people I love? And I don't have any relatives in Olongapo. Only friends that I met in clubs, drinking, mostly drinking. So I realized that I was in my mother's womb. I was there for 9 months. She took care of me. I was born. She took care of me like a baby. She gives me milk. And the next thing you know, I was writing, nung isilang ka sa mundong ito, laking tuwa ng magulang mo, and so on. And I wrote Anak with the guitar in the cassette, mono cassette, for less than 1 hour. I wrote the lyrics and the music, and I played it back, and I was crying and crying and crying and crying. And I wanted to tell my mother and father right there and then that I'm sorry, please forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very young. I thought what I was doing was cool, because when you are young, everything is cool. You do bad things, it's cool. You do good things, it's cool. Whatever you do, it's cool. So I realized at that time I was already 23 years old. So I'm an adult. I'm not already Freddie Aguilar, the 17, the 18, the 19-year-old. So I was 23. And I realized I made a big mistake. And I kept the song for myself. I never intended the song to be recorded. I never intended the song to be famous. I wrote it because I wanted to tell my mother, especially my father, how sorry I was. It was a song of a prodigal son repenting. So I wrote the song and I kept it myself until some Americans come to my house, or my room rather, my small room rather. And then I'm always proud of showing the Americans, hey, I have a new song again. So I will play it in my mono cassette. And, oh, Freddie, man, this is a great song. You should play it in the club. I said, no, we are not allowed to play any Filipino song in the club. At that time, you are prohibited to sing any Filipinos, not only in Olongapo, but all over the Philippines. You are not allowed to sing. No matter what kind of a musician you are, no matter you are a celebrity or an unknown musician, no one is allowed to play Filipino music during the time. So I'm not allowed to. So because the American servicemen are so insistent in me playing the song in the club where I'm I'm playing, and that time I was playing at the Sixth Sense already. I moved from club to club. So at that time I was playing at Sixth Sense, but still the same in Magsaysay. So I told the American serviceman, okay, this is what we do. You request me to play the song. You write it down on a piece of paper, and you said, Freddie, please sing your original song, Anak. And I said, but if I get fired, you have to support me until I get the next job. And they said, oh, we can do that. We can do that. We can support you, no problem. And they said, okay, let's do it. So that afternoon, we all went to the Sixth Sense. There's about 20 of them, American servicemen. 20 of them. We walk in there. My first set is 5:30 in the afternoon. I played 30 minutes. So on my first set, I played American songs. And on the last song, I played Anak for the first time with an audience. And I played it. And the Americans, of course, they love it. So they gave me an applause. And I left. I went off the stage. And the girl who's working there was crying. And the girl said, why are you singing my story? The girl said. I said, no, that's not your story. That is my story. So please leave my story alone. She was crying. So I at that time, I still don't understand why she was crying. Because I thought that song is me and only me. So I walk into the bartender and asked for, what do you call this, warm water. And the bartender was teasing me. Hey, Freddie, whatever drugs you're taking, stop it, man. I said, why? I'm not taking any drugs. Hey, what are you singing? There are no songs that talk about milk and talk about mother and talk about father. I said, that's my song, man. Leave my song alone. You know? So I left with my water, and here comes the waiter again. I said, Freddie, boss wants to talk to you. And I said, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. So I went to the office, and Boss Fred, his name, Boss Fred said, don't you know the rules in this house? I know, sir, but they requested me to sing the song. Don't bullshit me, Freddie. Who will request your song? I said, my American friends, sir. These are my followers. Come on, tell the truth. You just want to sing it. That's why you say, no, sir. If you want, you can check the papers. It's written there, and you can ask them. They're still there. So I said, okay, don't do it again, or else I'm going to fire you. I said, okay, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. But every day, the Americans are there. So I was singing it until he got tired of telling me, don't sing that song. And he himself said, hey, that's a nice song. He said, thank you, sir. So I'm allowed, but only on the first set. And that's how I started singing Anak. But not yet recorded. I don't have plans to record it. It's only because some Americans love my songs. And we did something so I can play it at the Sixth Sense Club in Olongapo. So the first time Anak was played was there in Olongapo at the Sixth Sense Club. It was also written in Olongapo in my small room. So from there, I met another musician because from Maria Cafra, who's a very famous rock group in my country. If you're Filipinos and you are 35 like me, you would know the group Maria Cafra. They're like the Rolling Stones of the Philippines at that time. So I alternate with them, and the lead singer, Resty Fabunan, always loved my song Anak. But they got hired somewhere else, so they left. So they replaced them with another good rock band called the Split Ends. Very good rock band that I befriended also, especially the lead guitar player, the late Jeremy Navarro, who later forced me, practically picked me up in my small room to go to a radio station so we can get an entry in the first Metro Manila Popular Music Festival in 1976. They said that we can join. Any Filipino can join. So Jeremy said, well, let's join it. And I said, no, Jeremy, I'm not going to join. If you want, you join, but I will not. And he forced me and forced me and forced me and forced me to join until we went to the radio station and we got 4 entries. And I told Jeremy, why are you taking 4 entries and you are only allowed to enter 2? He said, the other 2 is for you, just in case you change your mind. The entry form is already there. So if you want to join with your song Anak and another song, you already have the entry form. So I said, no, thank you. I am not planning to join the Metropop. But since my room is so small, no matter how I do, what I do, the entry form is always in my face. So I decided, oh yeah, I will try, I will join. So I filled it up, joined the Metropop. But still, I don't know what to do. So one day, and missing my family. And one day, I asked Boss Fred, can I go back to Manila? Only one night. Because I'm not allowed to take an off. If you are not allowed to take an off, you should be happy. It means you are good. You should be. But if they keep giving you off, then you are in trouble. So he said, okay, for one night only, and they let me go on a Sunday. So I went home on a Sunday. So I brought my lyrics of my song Anak. So I wanted to show it to my father. And I showed it to my father. I said, Father, I wrote a very beautiful song. You want to read it? And he read it. And after reading it, you can see the tears in his eyes. But he was covering it because he is the macho guy. He is the chief of police. You know. I said, oh, he put his arm around me like that. And, hey, you know what you're talking about now, huh? That's good. But you should have been a lawyer. So I said, okay. So he read it. He read the song. And then